Do you honestly believe you're the best I can get? Melissa smirked, one hip resting against the marble island, a glass of Merlot swirling lazily in her hand. Give me one night. I'll have your replacement lined up before this time tomorrow. I can still picture the quiet that settled over the kitchen after she said it. The hum of the refrigerator, the smug curl of her lips, and the exact second I understood that the woman I'd promised to marry had spent our entire relationship treating me like competition instead of a partner. What she never suspected was that I'd already let go, weeks before she ever opened her mouth. Melissa Whitfield was the type of woman who commanded a room without trying. Sleek chestnut waves, tailored blazers, and a self-assurance sharp enough to draw blood if you weren't careful. We'd been engaged for 9 months, together for 4 years, and from the outside, everyone swore we were flawless together. Behind our front door, though, love was something she weaponized, a game she needed to keep winning. For a long time, I made excuses for her. You'd fall apart without me. You should be grateful I haven't left. Men like you don't get women like me twice. I told myself it was insecurity talking. Eventually, I understood it wasn't insecurity at all. It was pleasure. She liked watching me shrink, the night everything cracked started ordinary enough. I'd gotten home late, drained after landing a major client for the design studio I ran, and instead of any congratulations, Melissa was irritated that I'd forgotten the Thai food she wanted. You care more about your little projects than you care about me, she snapped. I'm building something for both of us, I said, keeping my voice level. That's when she laughed. That specific laugh, and delivered the line that changed the course of everything. I could land someone wealthier, better looking, and more accomplished than you before sunrise. I didn't answer right away. I walked to the fridge, poured myself some water, and finally said, "Sure, go ahead." Her smile faltered. "Sure?" I said, "Go ahead, if that's genuinely what you want." She looked stunned, like she'd expected pleading. "You're not even upset?" I shrugged. "Not really, no." Silence swallowed the room. Melissa despised losing the upper hand. She moved closer, her voice dropping low. "You think I won't do it?" I think anyone who actually loves someone wouldn't dangle threats like that. That landed harder than any shout could have. By morning, she was gone early, dressed in something tight and crimson, drenched in perfume strong enough to linger for hours. At the door, she paused. "Don't bother waiting up." I nodded once, eyes still on my laptop screen. That indifference rattled her more than any argument would have. By early afternoon, my phone was exploding with notifications. Friends were forwarding screenshots from Melissa's social media. She was posted up at a rooftop lounge beside a hedge fund type named Bradley Collins, complete with a luxury watch, an Aston Martin, and a magazine cover smile. Her caption read, "Trading up." Comments piled in, laughing emojis everywhere, like I was the punchline. Strangely, none of it stung. I just felt lighter. After 4 years of chasing approval from someone who fed off my humiliation, I was finally done performing. Melissa strolled in around 1 in the morning, clearly braced for a confrontation. Instead, she found me relaxed on the sofa, half watching a game. "Nothing to say about where I've been?" she asked. "Nope." "No questions about who I was with?" "None." Her eyes narrowed. "Why are you being like this?" I turned the volume down and met her gaze directly. "Because today it hit me. You wanted me jealous. Because jealousy would prove I still worship you. I don't anymore." Her jaw tightened. I kept going. "Every threat you make comes from fear, not power. Deep down you know you're just as replaceable as anyone else." For once, she had no comeback. The days that followed felt oddly off. She turned sweet, cooking meals, asking about my work, reposting old couple photos like nothing had shifted. But I'd already checked out emotionally. There was no going back. Then came the twist that sealed it. 3 days later, Bradley messaged me directly. I assumed it was a joke at first. It wasn't. "Hey, didn't realize she was engaged when we talked. Figured you should know she spent the whole night bragging about making you jealous." Attached was a screenshot of her texts to him. "Just watch, he'll come crawling back." I read it twice and actually laughed out loud. Not from pain, from disbelief that she still thought this was all a game she controlled. When Melissa walked in that evening, she spotted the packed suitcase by the entryway immediately. Her face fell. "What is this?" "Signed a lease on a new place." "What?" "I'm done." She let out a nervous laugh. "You're being ridiculous." "I'm not." That's when real fear flickered across her face. "Wait, you're actually doing this?" I looked at the woman who'd spent years convincing me I wasn't enough. And for the first time in longer than I could remember, I felt calm. "You told me you could replace me in a day," I said quietly. "So this should be easy for you." Her eyes welled up, but I didn't stop. I stepped past her, opened the door, and walked out without a single glance back. Because real revenge was never about yelling. It's walking away as someone they can't touch anymore.